Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, I am going to show you a very simple strategy for using intermittent fasting to lose weight from the holidays, from vacation, from any time there was overabundance of food and has you not feeling so great. Let me show you how to use fasting to undo that. And if you're new to my channel, just want to say welcome. I'm getting 1 million people fasting this year. It is our way out of chronic disease. So hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and enjoy the journey. Okay, intermittent fasting to lose holiday weight. I want to go through 4 specific things, and specificity is really important when we step into the holidays. If you haven't seen the video that I did talking about the neuroscience behind setting goals, please go back and watch that video, because that video combined with this one are meant to make sure that we set you up for success with any health goal that you're trying to hit, okay? But specifically, this one, I want to talk about what happens when there was an overindulgence, because there's a tendency to beat ourselves up. And there are some really specific things we can do to hop back onto our health train. First, let's talk about mindset. Okay, with mindset, this is a big one. You've got to forgive yourself. So you can't move into a new goal carrying the anger and frustration of what you did the day before. So when you go to start a new goal, whether it's the holidays, summer, whatever the timing is, make sure you just let go. Yep, you overindulged. That's fine. Just put it in the past. Today is the present. We're stepping into a new reality. The second thing that I really focus on is making sure that you are focused, that you don't get distracted. So keep your goals simple. Again, go back and watch the video I did on the neuroscience of setting goals. But keep your fasting goals very specific and very focused, and just obsess on where you're going and what you're doing. Focus is really key, especially after a big time of indulgence. The third part of mindset is surround yourself with friends that are supporting you and are on this path with you. It is, think about it. Anytime you've tried to do something, a new health behavior, if the people in your household are doing it, it makes it a lot easier, right? So for this month, especially if you're doing this in January, let's get a group of people, let's get people around you that are also doing this with you. This is what we're doing in our January reset. If you want to join us, just put January reset in the comments. We pull people together, and as a group, we go through a 15-day fasting experience. Wherever you are in the world, it's whatever goal you have. It's the 5 people, hopefully you've heard this, the 5 people you surround yourself with that will make or break your goal. So look at how they're approaching goals. And if you don't like it, for this month, find yourself some new friends, get some new people to surround yourself that believe in you and help keep you focused and support your forgiveness of what you did last month. That was a lot. Okay, second thing I want to go into is fasts. So whenever you're going to go into trying to achieve something new with your health, I really like 3 things. So I like your fast to stretch yourself a little bit, especially if you're doing this in January. If you were always comfortable with 13 hours, maybe we could start to stretch it to 15 hours. So let's make it a little bit of a stretch, because what happens with fasting is when you stress, you start to trigger something called a hormetic stress. It's a low dose stress, a good stress that will force your body to adapt. So if you were comfortable with 13 in November, in December, all of a sudden you started to overindulge, you got way off track. When you jump back into it in January, let's do 14 hours, 15 hours. Let's just stretch it so the body has to adapt at a steeper rate, at a quicker rate. I'm the queen of variation. I love fasting variation. I love women fasting around their cycles. Whatever you're going to do with your fast this month, let's keep it consistent. So the variation that might be good is what we call a 5-2 variation. 5 days a week, you intermittent fast, and then 2 days a week, that's about 13 to 15 hours, you can do one of two things. You can not fast. If you're new to fasting, you might take Saturday and Sunday. Don't go crazy, but you might just not fast those days. And then Monday through Friday, you go back to fasting. Whatever you do, just set that up, and that's your monthly plan. If you're already an avid faster and you fell off and you want to start to hop back on, maybe on those 2 days, you extend your fast to 24 hours. But it's a 5-2 variation. 5 days a week, you're doing the same fast. 2 days a week, you're either extending that fast or you're not fasting. That would be a really good 30-day consistent plan with your fast. Okay, food. Now, I put this, I'm a visual person, which is why I like my new board. So with food, I want you to think about the 3 things that I always talk about, which is eating healthy fats, removing toxins, and making sure that your carb load is nature's carb, a little bit lower. So when we look at this incredible picture here, what happens is when you have been eating over the holidays, you are starting to get these spikes of carbohydrates. And so when we come to fasting, what we want to do is we want to dip down into the reserves that you accumulated during the holiday time. So when we look at food, can we make sure that our carbohydrate load is low? So get off the refined carbohydrates, lean into the more of nature's carbs so that these carb spikes come down and you can access this fasting period much quicker. So if there was ever a time to go keto, this would be it. You can go back and watch the video I did on the different types of keto and pick which one works best for you. But I would bring your carbohydrate load down so that you can get into this part of fasting that goes after the reserves. The whole point of this video is how do we get after the reserves? Okay, and then the last thing I want to say is what are some of my hacks? So light. There's so many interesting things about light and how it relates to weight loss. One of my favorite ones that I've been recently talking about, and they brought me on the doctors to talk about this, is the power of sunlight in burning fat. So there was a study that actually showed when you put sun on your skin that the subcutaneous fat right underneath that skin actually mobilized and was burned just from going out in the sun. So the part of the study that was so interesting is that they were looking to see what happened to people. Why do people gain weight in the winter as opposed to the summer? And a lot of that has to do with sunlight. So get out in the sun, get out in the middle of the day. If you live somewhere where you can get your skin exposed, get your skin exposed. Take the part of your body you don't love, get out in your backyard, get naked if you need to. Make sure you're not disrupting the neighborhood, but let's get your sun on your skin so we can start to mobilize that fat. The other thing is your liver heals at night. Your liver is the biggest fat-burning organ you have, and it wants you to sleep. So there's a lot of evidence that when people aren't getting regular sleep, that a lot of times they end up slowing their metabolisms down. They're not as good a fat burner. So let's make, as we are doing these goals, as we are working on getting your food and your fasting habits together, you're doing the 5-2 fast and you're working on the carbohydrate load and the fats and the toxins, let's commit to sleep. There's a lot of research showing that deep sleep's the most important. You can track it with the Whoop is the one we love. If you want to know more about Whoop trackers, just put Whoop in the comments and my team will send you a link to that. But sleep, if there was ever a time to prioritize sleep, it's when you want to lose weight. So make sure that you're going to bed at the same time, getting up at the same time, and you're prioritizing it. And also, there are supplements that help with blood sugar regulation. So if you're struggling afterwards, you have all that extra sugar and you're struggling regulating your blood sugar, one of our favorite supplements, I don't have it here, is called Sinulin, put out by Systemic Formulas. You can just put Sinulin in the comments and my team will send you a link to that as well. But I love the word reset. That's my word. And the reason that I love it is because you don't have to sit in the misery of what happened yesterday. You can step in to the promise and the positivity and this miraculous body. You can step into that today, creating a whole new future. So as always, you guys are awesome. I love your comments. If you've lost weight, this is a great one for this because so many new people are coming to my channel. New people are going to be doing fasting for the first time this year. If you have lost weight using fasting, put it in the comments. And if you're brand new, go read those comments for inspiration. And on the days that you don't feel like fasting, go read those comments because it blows my mind how well you all are doing with fasting. So I love being on this journey with you. And as always, I hope that helps.